It is exactly what I wanted.
Hi, Nate. Welcome back, and thank you for being our gaming expert.
Thank you for having me.
I have some questions about ye olde Nintendo Switch 2, which is really not ye olde, it's ye newy, that we talked about last time, but is now out in the world. So, most importantly, have you gotten yours yet?
Yes, I did.
He's flexing on everyone.
It is lovely. I love it. It's very premium. I don't know how to describe it. It just feels good in the hands.
I like your I feel like you're like it feels rich.
Yeah. Feels like I shouldn't have bought this, but I did.
But you did with all of your hard-earned convention money. What are your knee-jerk reactions outside of that it is Lux? Like, how's your experience with it been so far?
It is exactly what I wanted. Right.
Ooh,
I think
good.
in the world of handhelds,
Mhm,
a lot of people want a lot of things. The Steam Deck is very popular, and it's good for what it is, but
mhm,
it's also a bit heavier.
mhm.
It's a bit louder. It's what I wanted out of a Switch 2 was just a Switch with a better screen, a bigger screen, and it can run better games. And that's exactly what this is. And I'm thankful for it.
Do you think that your reaction is reflective of what, like, the mass consumers' reaction is? Are people happy like you, or are how on fire is the internet about this already?
So that's an interesting question.
Thank you.
First note is that it's selling like hotcakes. The
Yeah.
Switch 2 is performing very, very well. It sold 3.5 million units in the first 4 days. In the first week in the US, it sold 1.1 million units. So you may remember last time I complained that the pre-order process was a bit annoying and that
Yeah.
Nintendo should have accounted for this.
Mhm.
They are selling units. That's not the problem. That's just how many people want one.
So in a
So
capitalist viewpoint, they've won and it's successful regardless of
yes,
people's POVs. Yeah.
yes. I think as as obvious as this is going to sound,
Mhm.
the loudest complaints come from people who don't have one.
Ah.
Um,
Mhm.
the people who have one like it. The Switch 2 is nice. There aren't a lot of games yet, but it's been 2 weeks. Calm down. But many detractors are mad about the price, or they are just extremely brand loyal to whatever their favorite thing is, and
Mhm.
so they're just their favorite thing good and Nintendo bad, right?
Yeah.
So if you have one, you love it. If you don't have one, you want one, or you're mad for the sake of being mad.
What are some releases that you're looking forward to that are coming up? Because like you said, there aren't a lot of games. So what are you holding out for?
So we don't know a ton yet. Everyone kind of
Uh-huh.
has their fingers crossed for a direct coming out soon. But
Mhm.
off the top of my head, the new Donkey Kong is it looks fantastic.
Mhm.
If you like 3D Mario games and this isn't on your radar, it's only because it says Donkey Kong and not Mario on the title. Um, I'm looking forward to Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I love Metroid.
Ooh.
I love sci-fi. I love horror. And it's been too long since a 3D Metroid game.
I want to pause on this.
And
It was
yes,
Samus a seminal crush for you growing
no.
up?
Only not it. I was more into Samus as a teenager, only
Mhm.
because when I was a child, Metroid scared me, and so I didn't play it.
Also
That's
correct, yes.
yes, I was a scaredy cat as a child, and so I did not know much about Samus. That was my experience. I was much more a Misty Pokemon kind of boy.
Ooh, I mean, an excellent choice. No notes.
Thank you. Speaking of, actually, and I think the last game I'm looking forward to seeing is the new Pokemon Legends ZA.
Ooh,
Game Freak has gotten
who's your starter of choice?
like all time.
Oh, sure. Yes.
That's a loaded question. I think I have the strongest emotional attachment to Cyndaquil.
Ooh.
Um, I didn't remember a lot about Pokemon Red, but I do remember Pokemon Silver, and so
Mhm.
Cyndaquil was the first starter that I chose for myself, and that he's my little guy. I don't know what animal he is, but I love him.
He's yours. He's your animal.
He's mine. Yeah.
Aw.
But Game Freak has gotten a bit of flack in recent years. They've gotten some
For
justified flack in recent
why?
years
For
because
why?
the games didn't look all that visually impressive. They
Mhm.
didn't run all that well.
Mhm.
And, for Pokemon just prints money, right? It's the
Yeah.
largest media franchise on the planet. And so you go, okay, guys, you got to do a little more than this. So I'm really curious to see what they will do with a few years. It's been a while since the last game. They've had a bit
Mhm.
more time and on a Switch 2, which is a beefier device. So, there are fewer excuses.
Ooh, I feel like you've thrown the gauntlet down. I love that there are few excuses, and I'm sure somebody in dev is gonna go, "Challenge accepted."
And hey, I'm rooting for them. I love Pokemon. I
Yeah.
I want to see them crush it.
Is there anything that we have missed in our overview of what the world is like now that the Nintendo Switch 2 is out?
Not yet. Not yet. No, you
Yeah,
haven't.
loaded, loaded.
It's it's still really too early to say.
Mhm.
We're in the honeymoon period, so I think even myself, I'm biased. I like the new fancy thing, so I
Yeah.
think we have to give it a bit of time before we can be a bit more critical about the performance of the Switch 2.
All right, we have come to what is quickly becoming my favorite part of the show, Nate's picks. Nate, what's your picks
Oh,
today?
my pick of the day, regardless of if you have a Switch 2, it's on
Mhm.
the Switch 2, but it's Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh,
Now,
good
I
choice.
know a lot of people skipped out on 2077, or they bought it and didn't play it because of its initial reception when it came out in 2020. But CDPR has done an amazing job at fixing what was originally a broken game. And now I think it's one of the must play RPGs of the past 10, 15 years. If
Wow.
you are a fan of Bethesda games, if you like your Oblivions and your Skyrims,
Mhm.
this feels like the natural evolution that those games should have had. And Cyberpunk, the DLC,
Mhm.
Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, is probably the best spy game I've ever played. And if they just made that into an entire game, it would be an all-time great. So,
Somewhere the diehard defenders of GoldenEye are screaming, and they're like, "The best spy game ever! Is there even DK mode?"
now, don't get me wrong, I love GoldenEye, but the vibes of Phantom Liberty are immaculate.
All right, Nate, you don't want anyone to find you anywhere on the internet at any
No,
time. So I am going
never.
to encourage them to search for you in the gaming realm. Maybe they'll come across you and they'll fight you with some Pokemon, and they'll never know that it's you, but you'll know in their heart that they found you. So I'm going to tell everyone, if you want more on games, be sure you are visiting thepopverse.com. We were celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics and gaming each and every single ding ding day. Thanks for joining us today, Nate.
Thank you. I love talking games.
You had no choice. I made you come here. Bye.
Bye.